Welcome to the capstone of Module 2. There is no new concept in this episode. Everything you need is already on the table from episode 3 through 5. What we are doing now is composition, two realistic business workflows run start to finish the way Sam would handle them on an ordinary Tuesday morning. The first is triaging a brand new inbound lead. The second is escalating a support case that needs urgent attention. Before we jump into the demos, the three ingredients we are mixing: querying, pulling records and their relationships straight out of episode 3, writing, updating fields, reassigning owners, and logging tasks straight out of episode 4, and reasoning, combining live Salesforce data with a clear business rule or operating rubric, the pattern we built in episode 5. Neither workflow introduces a new technique, they just chain the ones you already know into something genuinely useful. Here is our first scenario. A new inbound lead just came in to the website. Get a solar quote form. Sunrise Retail Group, roughly 120 employees, retail industry. So let's first look into this. We'll go to Salesforce. This is that lead which just came in. So just to reiterate, it has got 120 employees, retail industry, interested in rooftop solar across 3 different locations. To look into the description. In the old world, someone manually reviews that lead, decide if it is worth pursuing, assigns it to a right rep, if they remember, creates a follow-up task. We are going to ask Claude to do all 4 steps conversationally. Let's go back to presentation. We'll start with qualification. We'll ask Claude, look at the new Sunrise Retail Group lead and tell me if it looks worth pursuing. Let's copy this. Let's go to Claude. So Claude is making use of the MCP server tools. It is what it found the retail lead and it's told us his judgment. So Claude finds there is no contact info. So we'll say yes. Check if there is a matching mean account or contact already in the system. So let's copy this. Say yes. So this time Claude is going to make use of SOSL tool. I'll say allow. It's querying the records. It says no matches. There is no existing account or contact. So once Claude has given its analysis, let's take, for example, we want to take an action on this particular one. We will say, good, assign it to a sales rep, Priya Nair. So I'll just go and let's go back to presentation. So this is the step 2. We are asking Claude to assign it to Priya Nair. This says that it has assigned it to Priya Nair. So let's cross check that. If we refresh this, the owner should get changed from Sam to Priya. So the owner is now changed to Priya. This is a standard write action identical in shape to the opportunity stage update from episode 4. And just like that, this is a moment to pause and see and understand the change that Claude has done for us. Let's go back to presentation. Now we'll say create a follow-up task for Priya to call Sunrise within 2 business days. This is the last step in the workflow. So let's approve the tool. We're asking Claude to create a follow-up task for Priya to call Sunrise Retail Group within 2 business days. Now the whole chain is complete, qualified, assigned, and a follow-up logged. 3 separate pieces of admin work that used to happen across multiple screens, all done in one conversation. If I go and refresh this, in the activity, I'll see it has been assigned to Priya to call, and the due date is July 14th, 2 business days out. So just to reiterate, this was the actual transcript. And the first one was qualify the Sunrise Retail Group, assign it to Priya Nair if it is worth pursuing, and a log a follow-up task for her. So instead of giving it one by one, you can give the entire prompt at one go. Now let's look into the next one, which is the case escalation. So there is a case. Let's look into Salesforce again. So there is a case. Let's see this particular case. It says battery system offline production impacted, and it has come from account Solaris. Let's go back to presentation. The support rep logged it as medium priority, but the account has 2 prior install and 1 prior escalated case. That context is exactly the kind of thing that should make you stop and reconsider whether medium is really the right priority. Before deciding anything, let's gather context. We'll ask Claude to pull Solaris manufacturing install history and prior case before deciding what to do with this particular case. So let's copy this and let's try to refine. Given just this case, so let's be very specific and tell Claude which case we are talking about. So we are talking about case number 01028. So let's send this to Claude. This is a relationship query pattern straight out of episode 3. Account out to related opportunities for install history and related cases for prior support activity. Let's see what it does. So Claude has said that yes, it needs to be escalated. Says it has been marked medium, but the description say a battery system is offline. Then it also tells me that there is a deal exposure. There is a deal associated with this particular account also. So Claude is saying yes, update the priority to high or set is escalated. Let's go back to presentation. Now, since Claude is recommending escalation, a production impacting outage on an account with a prior escalation history clears the bar. It proposes reassigning the case to the battery system specialist queue and bumping priority up. So let's see. We are going to reassign to specialist queue. This says specialist queue lead. I say yes. So it has found a battery system specialist queue in the org, and it's saying that this particular case is now owned by the battery system specialist queue. Let's go back to presentation. Now the last step is to notify the right person. So we are asking Claude to create a task for the queue lead. So let's go back. So this is the last step. We are asking Claude to create a task for the specialist queue lead to review the case within the hour and log the escalation reason on the case record so nobody has to reconstruct it later. So it is asking me, it has queried. So I'll say it is Sam. So the query judge reassign notified one conversation, just replacing a chain of manual edits and follow-up messages. So let's approve this one. Let's approve this also because it has to create a task. And now let's look into the case. Let's refresh this. Case owner is battery system specialist. There is an update for Sam and a task has been created. So this is what has been done by Claude based on the instruction that we gave it to him. Let's go back to presentation. Let's put the two workflows next to each other because the shape is identical even though the details are different. Both start with a query, both involve a judgment call, both end in one or more writes, and both close with a follow-up task. Query, judge, write, follow-up. That four-step pattern is the real template for business workflows in the standard hosted MCP setup. Same closing habit as episode 4. Open the records afterward and confirm reality matches what Claude reported. Check that lead owner is now Priya and her follow-up task has the right due date. Check that the case priority is high and the owner is the specialist queue and the escalation note is on the record. This verification steps gets faster over time, but it is the habit worth keeping. Let's zoom all the way out on module 2. Episode 3 replaced manual reports and dashboard with plain English speaking queries. Episode 4 took us from reading to writing, updating records, creating tasks, and editing related records. Episode 5 showed how Claude can combine live Salesforce data with a clear business rule to support a decision. And episode 6 showed that these patterns compose into real, complete business workflows. You went from asking a question to handling real pieces of the business from a chat window without claiming tools the standard hosted MCP server does not actually expose.